Botches, shit matches, storytelling, and new champions. WWE Survivor Series 2022 kinda had it all. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Feeling a little bit under the weather tonight, man. Got a bit of a cold, but we're still gonna review this shit. We're not gonna let that stop us. Sami Zayn didn't let nothing stop him tonight, so I'm not gonna let the flu stop me. So we kick off with the War Games women's match, the 5-on-5. Obviously, Team Bianca Belair were at a disadvantage here because Team Damage Control, Team Bayley, call it what you want, they had the advantage. They had the extra person coming in. We started off with Dakota Kai and Belair. So it lasts 3 minutes, then 5 minutes, and then after that we see Io Sky come in, 3 minutes, then after that Asuka comes in, and I felt like there was a lot of botches in this match, especially from Io Sky. Every single thing she done ended up in a fucking botch. There was like one part when she first came in, she's trying to do like a handstand in the corner, and she like fell, and she kind of like landed in the ropes, and she got stuck for about 10 seconds, man. She couldn't get out. She was like stuck fucking landing on her head. She was literally doing like a handstand in the turnbuckle, but she got like stuck between the ropes and the cage, and it was like, what the fuck is this? Looked very weird. Then Asuka came in, the exchange strikes. You got Asuka and Io Sky going at it here, and it was just, again, not a lot of these strikes weren't really connected properly. It didn't look good. Asuka is considered this great striker in WWE. I didn't see it really in this match, if I'm being honest. Then who came out after that? It was Nikki Cross, and then this is when the match went to fucking shit. So Nikki Cross came out, and she literally spent about 10 minutes trying to put weapons in the ring, and she couldn't do it. She couldn't get the fucking weapons in. It was like, how bad did this look? She kept trying to put weapons in the ring, and she just could not seem to get the weapons in. It was like she kept failing. She couldn't get them through the ropes. It was embarrassing. So she wasted about 2 minutes doing that, which completely takes away the advantage from her team. Then when Michin comes out, she tries to get a weapon of her own, even though there's already weapons in the ring. So she gets one weapon, and if you're going to arm yourself, then fair enough, but she tried to put about 10 weapons in the ring when her team's at a disadvantage in the ring, getting beat up, and she's just letting her teammates get attacked, get moves done to them, and she's too busy looking for fucking weapons to toss in the ring that she's not going to use. Just really fucking shit. Becky's the last person in. Becky hits there was a spot where Io Sky, thank God, the one spot she didn't make a mess of was a moonsault off the top of the cage. I'm glad she didn't botch that one, or else it could have been a disaster. And then we seen Becky hit a leg drop off the top of the steel cage through the table on top of Dakota Kai and Io Sky. So yeah, that's how they won it. Becky Lynch gets the win for Team Belair, and as soon as Team Belair wins, Belair celebrates by waving her fucking ponytail. Really, I'd love to cut that thing fucking off, man. I hate Bianca Belair. What is her with her pony? Why does she have to always spin her hair? Like, is that the only thing she knows what to do? Like, honestly, man, if she lost that hair, what would her gimmick be? What would she do? She'd do nothing. Like, I've never seen anyone do that, man. Like, most people have like taunts, or I don't know, man. Show a bit of charisma, show a bit of enthusiasm, show something, character. I mean, all she's got is the go-to, oh, I'm going to wave my ponytail in there. I mean, fuck that. We see that all the time. I don't need to see it every single fucking night, and that's what you see with Bianca Belair. But anyway, opening match here at War Games, very botchy. I don't like it. Another thing that bothers me is it takes 28 minutes before the actual match starts. So the match doesn't begin till all the participants are in the match. So that's 28 minutes of essentially no pinfalls, no eliminations. The match cannot be won. The match cannot be lost. And for me, that's just 28 minutes of nothing. I'm trying to think of long matches. I mean, Elimination Chamber matches have been long, but you get eliminations within that period. Royal Rumble matches go an hour, but I know no one can win till everybody's been in, but you get eliminations throughout that hour. What do you get in War Games? You get nothing. You get people do it. It's the same fucking spot every single time, or the team with the advantage will being controlled, and the other team will come out and they'll get the upper hand again, and that's all it is. It's like rinse and repeat. It's like the same fucking thing. It's like when the team has advantage, they do the moves, they beat down the opponents, and then the other person comes out and makes a save, and then you just repeat that for the next spot. I mean, I don't like these War Games matches. Hopefully next year they go back to traditional Survivor Series matches with actual stories. The only thing I would give credit to is War Games. At least there's been rivalries and feuds. For the last couple of Survivor Series, it's literally been red versus blue, SmackDown versus Raw. No one's gave a shit. So yeah, at least there was like some form of rivalry feud going on here in this match, but the match wasn't good. Then we get AJ versus Balor. I honestly didn't have much interest in this. There was a brawl at ringside between the OC and the Judgment Day. I mean, AJ won. I mean, it was okay, but again, it didn't do nothing for me. AJ beats Balor. I predict the AJ to win this match. I think he needed a win. If AJ lost tonight, then he may as well just fucking retire, go back to TNA or something like that, because his WWE career is pretty much dead. So yeah, this doesn't exactly help AJ. I think he sucks when he's with the OC. The OC are just dreadful, man. Anderson and Gallows, they drag him down. I mean, they drag this guy down big time. So hopefully he moves on and does something else. But yeah, AJ picks up the win tonight. Then we get Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi Blackheart. I've said recently that Shotzi is the worst female worker in WWE. I'm not going to retract that statement. This match was terrible. Botch after botch after botch. The biggest botch is when Shotzi's trying to do a springboard DDT off the top rope, and Ronda Rousey's head misses the ring apron by about 10 feet, man. It was really fucking bad. And I don't know why Ronda Rousey needed the help of Shayna Baszler to win this match. It was literally 2-on-1. To see Shotzi Blackheart beat up two legit MMA fighters, it makes no sense to me. And she essentially only lost because of the distraction. So, I mean, basically, Ronda Rousey only won because Shayna Baszler was at ringside. This was worst match of the night for me. I can't even believe this got onto the pay-per-view. I can't believe Shotzi got a title shot, to be honest. I guarantee you this feud will not be continuing, though. And Shotzi will probably never get another title match again. It just wasn't it was not very good. Just because Ronda Rousey's a heel now doesn't mean that she should need help to beat these fucking average chicks. I mean, let's be real. Ronda Rousey should be able to demolish Shotzi in 10 seconds, whether she's a face or a heel. But nah, I guess WWE's logic, if you turn heel, then automatically you're no longer dominant, you're no longer a badass, you're no longer a legit fucking killing machine. All of a sudden you're a cowardly person that relies on help or cheating or some bullshit like that. Dumb logic from WWE. What did we have after this? We had a triple threat match, good match. I would maybe go as far as saying this was match of the night, to be honest. I think I preferred this match over any other match. Good spots. There was good freeway spots, good multiple spots using each other. There was a good spot where Theory was both Theory and Bobby Lashley were down on their knees, and Seth Rollins used Theory to jump off it to hit a stomp on Bobby Lashley. And then Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins is going for the Falcon Arrow. Bobby Lashley spears Seth Rollins. Theory lands on top of Seth, and Theory gets the 1-2-3 and becomes your new United States champion. Now, I mean, the match was good. I'm not going to complain about that, but I will complain about the fact Austin Theory is back to where he began 6 months ago. He had the US belt. He dropped the US belt to Lashley so he could go on and win the Money in the Bank match because they wanted to push him as a main eventer. Then he cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase for a shot at the United States title instead of the world title, just to lose, only to get a match tonight and win. So basically after all that, he's back where he started with the US title. What the fuck? What is this? That is dumb. That is fucking dumb. People want to praise Triple H, say he's great, say he's this, say he's that. That's retarded. That fucking... And I know you could say, well, he didn't put the briefcase on Theory. Doesn't matter, right? If you take over and someone's got the briefcase, you can't just take it off them because you don't like them. You have to book the storylines from when you took over. You just can't scrap everything and go to zero. You know, that doesn't work. I mean, if Triple H started booking in 98, he couldn't just start treating Austin as a fucking bum and put like Funaki in the main event. That wouldn't work. So that's exactly what he's done with Austin Theory, man. Austin Theory his stock was high. Triple H takes over, basically jobs him out, but then gives him his mid card belt back. Stupid in my opinion. Then we get into the main event. The second War Games match, a lot better than the women's War Games match. Of course, it was going to be. Not only do you have the star power in this match, but you've got the men, and the men are just better than women. It is what it is. I don't want to see the women trying to work like men. If you see two chicks fighting in a bar or fighting in a club, like 9 times out of 10, they will be pulling each other's hair, they'll be slapping each other, or they'll be like rolling around on the floor. Why? That's because that's the fucking way. That's the way women fight. That's the way women, strike each other. Seeing women trying to wrestle like men it just does not work. They're not athletic enough. They're not powerful enough. They're not strong enough. They're not good enough, right? They're just not. So I don't like women's wrestling in 2022. I've said this time and time again. For me, I think the women in the Ruthless Aggression era, I think that's the best women's wrestling you'll see. People will always knock Trish, knock Lita, but for me, they were 10 times the performers anybody is today. So, basically, the main event, it was weird. We had Jey Uso start off. The face team had the advantage, which was different, I guess. I'll give them credit for that. Roman Reigns sends down Sami Zayn as his second Bloodline member instead of Jimmy Uso to help Jey. Sami and Jey don't really get along. Then we get to the end of the match. There's tables everywhere. And I'll call this spot out because I hate when they do it in AEW, when they do like synchronized super kicks. Well, there was one spot where the 5 members of the Brawling Brutes team did like the club and blows to the 5 members of the Bloodline, and when this happens, it's so fucking fake. Like 10 people in the same fucking position at the same time. This was dumb. They did like 20 strikes to the chest. Then Kevin Owens hits a pop-up powerbomb on Reigns, hits a stunner, it's about to put him away. Sami Zayn stops the ref for counting 3. Then Sami Zayn hits a low blow on Kevin Owens, and then he pushes him to the floor, and he allows Jey Uso to hit the splash on Kevin Owens. Jey gets the 1, 2, 3. Bit surprised about that, but in terms of the story, in terms of how it played out, it made perfect sense because Sami Zayn turned his back, he betrayed his best friend, and he allowed the one member of the Bloodline that does not like him, he doesn't get along with, Jey Uso, to get the win. So he basically betrayed his best friend in favour of the one Bloodline member he doesn't like. So he proved his loyalty to the Bloodline. The storyline was good. I enjoyed that. The match itself, I mean, it is what it is. I just don't like the War Games match. The two cages doesn't do it for me. But I enjoyed it. It was okay. It was decent. So there you go. That's how it ended. And then we end with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso hugging it out. The entire Bloodline hug, and they look stronger than ever. So yeah, another win for the Bloodline. Hardly surprising. The pay-per-view itself, I'll give it a 5 matches. I thought the last 2 matches were good. I did not like the first 3 matches, especially the Ronda Rousey one, but at least it wasn't as long. The AJ Styles one just bored the fuck out of me, and the women's one was like an hour I want to forget, an hour I want to erase from the memory banks. I'm going to get a 2 out of 10. I'm sorry, it wasn't that good, guys. Let's get a 2 out of 10. That's it. Till next time. Catch you later. Peace.